Alright, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Give double honors to the apostles, the GMS who taught me this truth and sincerity. Also, give peace and blessings to you elect out there is pushing this truth to the four corners of the globe. Salutations to you brothers and sisters that are repenting daily, coming back to the Heavenly Father. Again, his name is Yahweh. And his only begotten son, his name is Yahweh Shah, your brother Kasar, with another quick video. As you can see, this was an anticipated one. This is what I wanted to go into. I mentioned in my last video, Steph Curry. So basically, you know, your so-called heroes of the so-called black community, all right, and well, Israelite community for that matter, which consists of you Native Americans, Latinos, and so-called Negroes, okay? This man is in high regard. He is known to have evolutionized the game of basketball with the three-point shot. Of course, this is Steph Curry. He really needs no introduction. We pretty much know who he is, all right? But here's the thing, you know, now that Esau has used Steph Curry, now that these Edomites are getting outed for the Epstein files, here you have, you know, so Esau has to put out diversions and distractions. So Steph Curry is in the line of that fire. Okay? But here this video exposed that the NBA star has ties with Israel intelligence. All right, basically funding money to for military aid. So I'm gonna let the video play because this sister goes into, well, I don't know what ethnicity she is, and so, but this young woman goes, she's probably older than me. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is she's gonna expose some things, and this is going viral. This is something that a lot of people are catching on to. This has become now public information, so you can look it up. All right. She'll probably call out the source. As you can see, it says the gray zone. I think that's the source. And then I'm gonna get some scriptures because, you know, as the scriptures say, let me just pull it real quick. 1 second. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Let me see. 64. Is it 64? Hold on 1 second. I'm trying to. All right, it's lucky about that. So back to the lesson. So Deuteronomy 28 64 or 68, I'm sorry. It says, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. By the way thereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondsmen and bondswomen, and no man shall buy you, which that buy goes into redeem. So your Martin Luther King, your so-called heroes, your known heroes, there is no redemption for our people. Nobody's going to save us. The only individual that's going to save us is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, all right, which his name means he saves or he delivers. So that, you know, Yahweh Shah is the only one that's gonna save us, all right, as it says in let me get it real quick. I think Ezekiel 37. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Ezekiel 37 and 24. Yes, this is, and David, my servant, shall be king over them, and all they shall have one shepherd. And no, they shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. It says, verse 25, and they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt, and they shall dwell therein, even they the and their children and their children's children forever, and my servant David shall be their prince forever. So of course this is talking about Yahushua sitting in that seat of king. That basically he's gonna sit in the seat, he's gonna be king over all of Israel. And there are many scriptures that go into this, and plus King David's time had already passed. So when you fast forward to Ezekiel, you understand that this can't be talking about King David. Yahushua is gonna come and sit in that lot of as King David, as is mentioned in Revelations. Let's get that real quick. Yahushua is going to be King of Kings, Lord of Lords, and so forth. So when we get Revelations, I think it's 19. Let's see. Let's see. Revelations 19. And I'll start at verse 16. It says, and he hath on his vesture and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. Okay. Let's keep going. It says, and I saw an angel standing in the sun, and he cried a loud voice, saying to all the fowls that fly in the midst of heaven, come and gather yourselves together unto the supper of the great Yahweh, that ye may eat the flesh of kings, and the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sat on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, both small and great. Okay. So pretty much, this is talking about Yahushua dwelling, or usurping power, okay, and sitting in that throne of David and becoming King of Kings, Lord of Lords, as the scriptures say. Okay. So, and then under Yahushua, you're gonna of course have the 12 apostles, King David, all the prophets of the Bibles, the judges and rulers of Israel, the elect. So there's going to be a governing body, a order, like we like to say, a order in the heavenly, in the kingdom. Okay. But so the whole point of me bringing out these scriptures is to really nobody on this side is your hero. Nobody's going to say, you can't look up to these celebrities and athletes. Okay, you can't idolize them. You can't think that that they're any different from the wicked ones that rule. All right, which starting with Amalek and Esau and Edom. So, because Steph Curry is known as the babyface assassin, but this babyface assassin is really assassinating people through his wealth and influence. And I'm gonna play the video, and the sister's gonna get some good facts on that. But I wanted to bring this out real quick. Let me see. It is Sirach chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse 2. It says, burden not thyself above thy power while thou livest, and have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kittle and the earthen pot together. For if the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken. All right. Now the next verse is going to go into it. It says, the rich man have done wrong, and yet he treadeth withal. The poor is wronged, and he must entreat also. So pretty much, again, you can't look up to these individuals with money. First of all, Steph Curry got all this money and he chose to fund those people, those small hats. But yet and still, Jake is living paycheck to paycheck. A lot of us are struggling. All right? Struggling. Like literally, out here desolate. It says, if thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. Okay, so is that's what's going on with Steph Curry? So, well, first of all, people with money, the only reason why people flock to them is because they want some of that money, or they want to be a part of that person's wealth. But if Steph Curry didn't have money and notoriety, people wouldn't even know his name. First of all. Second of all, as soon as Steph Curry go against his oath that he took with this devil, because yes, he did an oath. He did a ritual to accrue or to accumulate all of the wealth and money that he has. But anyway, it says, verse 5, if thou have anything, he will live with thee, yea, he will make thee bear, and will not be sorry for it. So I just broke that down, but the whole point is, again, we cannot look to these people. They are not here we look to the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son to save us. This is why the scriptures say, let go of this world. And to let go of this world, you got to let go of the people in this world that choose to be tethered to this world. All right. And I like Steph Curry. Like, so, but it doesn't surprise me. I don't like him enough to not do a video on him. He can get it too, as you can see. And I knew Steph Curry has 4 NBA championships. So I knew that to get there, he had to have done something wicked. The elites, the powers that be that control the NBA, the Amalekites, that he had to have done something to for them to put him against LeBron and choose him over LeBron. And LeBron was kissing their ass. I'm gonna try to bring a picture or a photo up of that. So the main point is they flock to these Amalekites that control your governments, your news outlets, your athletes, your singers, the music industry. They control pretty much everything. All right, Vanguard. What's the other one? BlackRock. These ish people have so many ties to all the wickedness. When you trace back the money, it always goes back to they wicked asses. So anyway, let's play the video.
So this is wild. According to the Gray Zone, Stephen Curry, the NBA All-Star and 2023 Kareem Abdul-Jabbar Social Justice Champion, has been quietly pouring millions of dollars into Israeli tech companies run by ex-IOF spies. He's invested in Zafran Security and Upwind alongside Israeli firms like CyberStarts and US VCs like Sequoia Capital and Menlo Ventures, all tied to Israeli military intelligence. These companies are run by former Unit 8200 and MAMRAM operatives, the people behind Israel's cyber systems used in Gaza. Even his former teammate, Omri Caspi, is involved, pushing what he calls Zionism 2.0. So while Curry posts about social justice here at home, his money is funding tech tied to the oppression of Palestinians. The guy who cheers for equality in the U.S. is funding apartheid and genocide abroad.
See, all of these guys are fake. They're not heroes. And yeah, they committed genocide. People, Israelis over there in Gaza, that was genocide. And it was justified by them saying, basically, they were saying the JEWs were saying that, well, we're God's chosen people and we have the right to kill these people. Didn't we do it in the Old Testament? Which they're not even the people. So it just goes to show that it's Curry chose the wrong side. And again, here, his people, the real true people of Yahweh, Wah Yahweh Shai, which Wah means and in Hebrew, we are struggling. That's why the scriptures say, blessed is the meek of the earth, the poor of the earth. Money is the root of all evil. For Steph Curry to have what he has, and best believe his wife is a part of it. She knows about it. That's why they use, and another thing, yeah, they use his wife. First, they pushed her to be this wholesome woman, and for all our women to flock towards her, and then they showed her as an adulterer, pretty much. And that's all she was, you know. So everything in this world is fake. Everything is fabricated, made up. There's always an agenda. There's always a propaganda scheme to push or governize or control the minds of you, Jake. All of these operations, I'm going to call them operations, are made to put Jake under a spell. Okay? These people have fallen to where their integrity and what they stand for is gone. This is Sirach 13. I'm going to jump down to 24. Now I'm going to get 23. Start at 23 because this is my outlook on it. When I get verse 23, I'm going to tie it all together, but this is what we've been saying for years. It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue, and look what he saith, to extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. So that's self-explanatory. When these athletes and celebrities speak, that's all Jake care about. That's all Jake idolize and want to hear, and that makes their word gold. But when we put out these videos and tell you your LeBron James, your Steph Curry, your Kevin Durant, all of these people are Satanists, or all of these people either practicing it or fund it, then something's wrong with us, you know. But y'all go listen to somebody on a podcast that was a so-called bodyguard for these celebrities, that really was tied in with these celebrities. Because what you don't know is, even for you to be a bodyguard or a lawyer or even a goddamn chef or janitor for these nobles or for these rich people, you have to take an oath as well. You got to participate. It's a small club. And the only way you're going to be able to, because if you are somebody's bodyguard, if you are somebody's chef, you're going to come across conversations that you're not supposed to hear. So they have to know if they're able to trust you. You know, these people might have meetings, these celebrities might have meetings with CIA agents or handlers, what we like to say, to tell them how to go about their next agenda or their next operation. So with that being said, and then these normal people, I'm speaking about, not normal people, but these people that are your so-called janitors for the elite, for the rich people, or your so-called chef or bodyguard. If they took the oath, how can you trust anything they say and they're a part of the problem? How can you be a bodyguard for somebody and you was getting paid and you seen things and you chose not to speak out? No, some speak out when they done, but they only speak out because they was done wrong. They're not speaking out on the strength. Or they're told what to say. Like the dude bodyguard for Diddy. He only speaking out because Diddy done got caught. It's a trend. So the point is, man, look, it's time to let these celebrities go. Their wickedness is being exposed. Actually, Babylon the Great wickedness is being exposed, as it states in Isaiah 47, at like verse 4. These things are being exposed, and you got to look past the celebrity. Look who's paying the celebrity, which is the NBA. Okay, so who controls the NBA? You got to look into these things and trace the money back. And it always goes back to Amalek. But I pray that this lesson was edifying. Again, want to give all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, Shalom.